there's so many indicators in the market. They're all useful, but not everybody uses the same indicators. People trade on different type frames. You'll probably look it up and be like, oh my God, this indicator works. This indicator works. Why not use this indicator? How about this indicator? They all work. Trust me, they do. But the way I trade, I only use certain indicators. You don't need to use all of them. There's so many. The more you understand the certain indicators that you use, the better. You know, people, like I said, if you look it up online, you do your own studying, um, you'll see that people use different indicators and they don't use the same ones as you, and that's okay. Not everybody has to use the same tools. It's what matters how if you understand your tools and what you do with. What the tools I use are these little lines. I know what you're wondering. What the fuck are these lines? They're called the MA. This red one is called the 200 MA. The yellow one is called the 13 MA, and this green one is called the 30 MA. I know that sounds like gibberish. You don't need to know what MA stands for. It stands for moving average. You don't need to know what it stands for. You just need to know what it does for you. So let's look at a chart that I like looking at. So to put it plain and simple, I make the 200 MA red one. I make uh, the 200 MA red because, like I said, to put it plain and simple, you don't need to know what it stands for. You just need to know what it means. When something crosses the MA up or down, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, what I mean by it's huge, it has a really high chance of it going up and it has a really high chance of it going down if it moves above it. It moves above it or below it. Now, let's just look at an example. You can see right here, if we go right here, you see how they close the green candle above the red MA, the 200 MA. And you see how it just goes up, right? It goes up. You see that push forward? You see that? It's a good indicator of whether something's going to go up because let's just say the 200 MA is a really hard indicator to break. It's a really hard line to break. And if it breaks it up bullishly, you see this green candle, it bullishly breaks it up. It's a really good indicator that it might go up, and it does. Now let's look at the opposite side. You have a red candle closing down. What does it do? It goes down. It tries to come back here. There's some resistance. It get rejects it. It goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like the red line right here. It got below it. It couldn't hold it. It went down. Let's look at some other stocks. Look at this is Apple. It closed below the red line. It goes down. You know, like over here, close below the red line, it goes down. Right here, close below the red line, it goes down. Uh, close below the red line, it went down. Like, look how crazy that is. It closed above the red line, above, it went up a little, but it's hard to maintain that. And when it goes down, it goes down. It closed above it, it goes up. But before that, you have these other ones, the yellow and the green one, the yellow being the 13, the green one being the 30. You can change the color of them. We'll get to that later. Um, there's something called the golden cross and the death cross, and that happens with the 13 and the 30. When the 13 is above the 30, you see this how the yellow, it's called the golden cross because I color it. It's common, but the 13 is golden. And if it goes across, it goes above the 30, it's a really good likelihood that it goes up. And you can see this right here. Golden cross right here, the 13 is above the 30 and it goes up, right? It also breaks the 200 and it goes up, right? Vice versa, there's something called uh well, let's just look at this. Golden cross right here, it goes up. You see that? Breaks the 200, it goes up. Um Golden cross right here on Tesla, it goes up. Breaks the 200, goes up even more. Vice versa, when the golden cross crosses down on the 30, that's called the death cross. And you can see it right here. This is the golden cross. This is the death cross. You can see the golden cross crosses above the 13 and the 30. It's red. It goes down. Death cross right here. It goes down. Death cross. We already did that one. Death cross right here. It goes down. plain and simple, but there are some indications where it's really hard, and sometimes uh, these indicators are hard to use. And what I mean by that is, let me find you an example where the indicators are hard to use. Look at something like this. This is called spaghetti. These 13 and the 30, they don't help much because they're all close to each other. It's kind of like spaghetti noodles. They're just wrapped around each other. They're not really spread out nicely like this. And when this happens, it's a bunch of chop, needless to say, a bunch of consolidation. Needless to say, it's really hard to tell where the market's going. It's really choppy. If you see a stock like that, um, you know, it's really hard to tell where it's gonna, not hard to tell, but it's really hard to use those indicators. Um, and I never really suggest trading. Uh, Not such as a trading, but it might be difficult to trade when there's so much chop like that, and I'm trying to find a good example. And we're looking on the daily, but it happens quite frequently on the hourly at times. So you can see here, they're all like clumped up together. Right here, they're all clumped up together, clumped up, clumped up. Here, they're not that clumped up. You can see it has a def cross here and it goes down. Like I said, we'll be trading the hourly and the daily, but like I said, it's rough when they're clumped up like that.